guys, Miranda Manticos here, psychic channeler, spiritual teacher. Okay, so we're coming off of the Lion Gate portal, and I'm already noticing a trend of the heaviness and the sadness and the emotions and all the stuff. Just saw one. And so this reading from Spirit is for that. Okay, so I was feeling it a lot yesterday, a little bit still today, kind of weepy, sad, you know, just like emotional. See the lights flickering. And in the spa today, I've already had a few clients come in feeling the same way. Now, for each person, it's going to be for different reasons, right? But you just may notice that you're more quick to cry or to just feel super sensitive. And I just kind of want to talk about that for just a second. So anytime you, as an individual or the collective, has a major energetic shift, okay? Remember that the goddess energy, the creative energy, always comes with a level of destruction, okay? So as you leave behind old thought patterns, old ways, or even maybe you're leaving a relationship behind, or you might have lost someone. That's kind of like a little bit of what was going on today. Is one client, you know, who's still grieving, felt the grief heavier during this time. Not during the actual portal time, but as we come off of the portal, right? That shadow time. You know, whatever the reasons, just know that as we create, what do you want to call it, Spirit? They're saying as we create the life we desire, individually and collectively, the deconstruction or the destruction of what we don't desire has to happen, okay? And that is a very personal and external message. So always the external, remember that. Always what you see around you is a reflection of what is going on within you. That's just the sacred mirroring, okay? The sacred scrying that we're always doing. See, a lot of people don't realize that they are always in magical practice, but they don't know it. I didn't know it either, okay? But thank God my soul knew, right? But so basically we're all kind of in this state of scrying, of seeing, of mirroring, right? And it's, you know, what we're seeing is a reflection of what is being destroyed within us and also what's being created within us. This is why there's always a choice, right? You can go down the path of destruction or you can go down the path of creation. Mastery to me comes in when you can do both, when you learn how to just let this fall and at the same time create. And men can do this, but I feel like women are really good at it. And this is not meant to be like a, you know, a hit to the masculine. It's not. It's just that feminine energy. I know any mother could tell you this. Anybody who's mothered, we can go into the home and we can do 15 things at one time and manage the children. That's just what we do. Okay. It's like we're we're definitely the spiders, right? We've got like 6 legs and we're just doing everything. We're weaving all the time. So women balance that process all the time. I'm not saying men don't do it. There are many men who do this, but women are just like natural at it. So, but anyway, as you do that, as you get into the kitchen, so to speak, of your life, and you start cooking and you're cleaning and you're helping the kids and you're also working on a project and you're doing all the things. See, that's what's happening right now in our world. Mama's in the kitchen cooking and everything's getting turned upside down. And at the same time, everything's getting cleaned and prepared, okay? And that's what chaos creation looks like. Like a messy house that's getting cleaned and lived in and restructured all at the same time, okay? So I'm going to pull some cards for this, for this feeling that we all have of that kind of highly charged, highly emotional, okay? We're going to fill that up with light, is what Mary Magdalene is saying. We're going to fill that up with light. Everything we just destroyed in the last week, We're going to fill those pockets up with light. Okay. Look. Happy family. Look at that. Beautiful. Attachment. I'm asking, hang on. You guys, wow. Contract. Let me just lay this out because it's telling a story. Hold on, Spirit's telling a story. One moment, guys. It's all coming out at one time. Okay, hold on. What else do you want to say about this from this text, Spirit? Oh my God, you guys. Woo. Oh my gosh, everything I just said. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, I'm going to flash these really quick and then I'm going to talk about what Spirit is saying. Okay. All right. Happy family. Okay. Remember, this is an individual and collective message. This could be you in your personal life. Also, we of Earth are a happy family, or that's at least the path we're on. Okay. So remember, this is you can take this individually, but you could also take this collectively. So our goal here, happy family. Okay. There was an attachment. This is what we're destroying, okay? Literally, the next card that came up, contract. You see that? You see that little scroll in the back? What does that look like? I'm not even going to say it here, but you guys, look at it. What does it resemble? What did I just say? We're destroying and creating at the same time. See, this was an attachment. Guys, do you see this? These documents were an attachment, a spiritual attachment that needs to be broken. Wow. Okay. Gosh. Wow. What is coming up? The thinking woman. What did I just say? The women. Okay. What did Jesus say? The women. Okay. The women. This is Mary Magdalene talking. Community. Do you see them? See, we are restructuring society. We're restructuring our homes. We're restructuring our inner world. And we're restructuring society while we do this. The thinking woman is influencing community. Number 47 and 7. Very sacred numbers. Indecision. What did I just say? There's two paths here, okay? But the mastery is the path that understands both destruction and creation at the same time. But do you see that? Someone's indecisive. So we have to choose. We have to choose what we want. Okay, what do you guys want to say about this? Okay, so I'm going to show these in this order. Broken heart. Storm coming. Storm warning. Cornucopia. Abundance. So let me just tell you what I'm getting from this. And then you can also always discern your own messages. Like if I'm showing a card and I have my interpretation of it or what Spirit is telling me, I hope and pray that that helps you, but also it's okay to get your own message, okay? Like if I'm flashing a card and you're getting something else from it, that's totally fine, okay? But anytime Spirit has ever broken my heart in a sacred way, okay? So heartbreak can be sacred. It does not have to be a terrible thing. For example, leaving behind a bad relationship, okay? Or leaving behind a bad community. See, I broke out of religious dogma, okay? We're an overly patriarchal community. So I'm just using this as an example, where I loved certain individuals in that community, but the community itself was restrictive, okay, and harmful because of its over-masculated interpretation of Spirit and God, okay? So a heartbreak can be sacred, right? Walking away from what is not for you while it cracks you wide open, okay? It is a sacred breaking that has to happen. And anytime you do that, you're going to feel the grief of it, okay? It's okay, okay? Grief, first of all, is also sacred and is a healer, okay? Anytime, like, Spirit has made me revisit a wound, okay? Like, the child loss wound, losing all the pregnancies that I lost. Now, I guess 7.5 years ago, I just went through a series of pregnancy loss. 1010 angel number on the screen. And I do way better with it now, you guys, but sometimes my guides will bring me back there. And what I've learned about that is when they do, it's because there's still some little component that needs healing and visiting, and that I may need to cry or talk to my babies, or just reconnect and reground and recenter, okay? So when your angels do that, that's, it's a sacred breaking. It's meant to just reopen that a little bit so you can get it out so that it doesn't sit in the body, okay? So some of you may be feeling this energy, okay? And I'm getting that, what do you want to say about that, Spirit? They're giving me a message, stand by. What is it, Mary Magdalene? She's talking about the divide between religion and spirituality. So there is a storm coming in that sense, okay? Like a shattering of truths that were lies, okay? So things that people really, really thought were true are about to be destroyed, okay? And that is heartbreaking. And not in a bad way. Again, the sacred breaking, okay? What are we doing here? We're aiming to be a happy earth family, okay? And what does that mean? We are breaking attachments and contracts that we did not realize that our ancestors agreed to, that were lies, that were really satanic ritual, okay? So what's happening? The thinking women, the matriarchy, the feminine energy, this could apply to men too, okay? But the feminine is rising, okay? She can feel it. She can feel it. See, that feminine in you, which exists within all people, can feel what needs to happen before she's going to have the whole plan, right? That's okay. We don't need a plan. Women are really great at just rolling with it, okay? And men can do this too. They're being urged. I am going to pull a masculine card today, but that's why men are being urged to heal their masculine energy so they can feel both and still be what they want to be in this life, okay? But in a more balanced sense. See, the scales. See, the scales were not balanced. The scales were against women. And women are the sacred womb keepers. We are the garden. We are the daughters of Magdalene. We are the daughters of earth. We are the daughters of the sacred feminine goddess energy. And it was not permissible for them to continue to extort us this way, okay? So the lion's gate that we just went through, for me, felt very much like the feminine Christ energy, the feminine lioness, because the lioness protect the pride. See, it is not the lion that protects the pride. It is the lionesses. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but it's the female lions that protect the children, okay? That's the garden. See, that's the happy family. This is not because men aren't valuable or not. Yes, they are. I just saw 333 as I was saying this. Men are extremely important. There is a place for all in this new family existence. But everyone will be sovereign here. Everyone will be respected. Women, children, men, animals, plants. All life is sacred. And the distortion here, see, just had it all over the place. And there were so many here without a voice, okay? Actually, if I have time today, I'm going to record another one that's going to come up. But I was called to share a message even about the animals. So see, so many were going through distortions here because of these false contracts, okay? We dissolve those contracts. And I heard something recently, and I feel like it is a good suggestion, that said, if you've agreed to something ever, just by speaking it, see, your words are spelling. You are casting spells with your thoughts and words. Okay, remember that. That is why even the Bible says that the life and death. It's literally a scripture that says life and death is in the tongue. 444. As I said that, life and death is in the tongue. What we speak becomes true. Okay, so if we in the past have ever misspoken about ourselves or anyone, okay, or agreed to something, not really knowing what the intention was behind it. Now, as we awaken spiritually, we're becoming more discerning. We're realizing, oh my God, everything was like a contract, a soul contract. Oh my gosh, this wasn't a sacred agreement. This was a distortion. So when you start realizing these things, it's really good to, even if it's simple, to have a little kind of cord breaking ceremony or just a simple prayer where you say, I no longer agree to what is not love. If it is not love, I sever the ties. I speak for my ancestors. I speak for my descendants. I am present. Okay? So calling that power back into your lineage liberates the past and the future. This is why being present is so important. Okay? So storm warning, false religious dogma, which is existent in all religions and even in indigenous teachings. Okay, no one is free of distortion right now. Like nobody. We're all dealing with it on some level. It's just that the indigenous ways were more in alignment with Earth and the goddess and the truth. Okay, so they are a better, to me, representation of how to live in alignment. But it is not perfect. Okay, so we're all going to be called to dissolve distortion and open up that heart, okay, and go through the grief of letting go of false politics, false religion, false medicine, just all the fake, okay, so that the abundance can rise, okay, so that we can bring in the cornucopia, the flow of all that truly is, okay. I'm being told to show these. I got these as a gift from Spirit, but I'm being called to show them. These are from Peru. So these are just activations. Hold on. They're just telling me to show them. Okay. I don't even know if I'm doing this one right. There we go. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. These are just activations. You can look these up. These are sacred sites in Peru, all with very special messages. Look at this, beautiful. And these are very famous. You will easily find information and the spiritual meanings on those. Okay, so, all right. Sorry, I gotta keep moving because I'm gonna go do a couple of things as we have time for it. All right, so what's gonna help us with this? This is sacred geometry, this deck. So these symbols, your body just knows what they mean. And the water in your body will actually become structured to the symbols that I'm about to show. Okay, so if you're open to that, you can even say to your body, I receive these activations to the body of light and water within me. Okay, fire and water. That's what we are. Remember that. Okay, what do they need, Spirit? Divine Feminine. There you go. Divine Feminine. Okay, so just take a look at this symbol. You can screenshot it if you need, okay? You can actually put this underneath your water, like make a screenshot of it and hold it underneath your water, like before you drink it, and it will set that intention, that structure, that sacred geometry into your water, okay? But also just seeing it affects the water of your body. So the frequency of Divine Feminine supports our receptive, nurturing, and soft side, allowing it to express itself openly and helping us to connect to our intrinsic understanding of our connection to all of creation. That's beautiful. And what I just said, all these beings, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, you know, all the water, the cosmic energy, everything right now is being called to rise. Okay, so, and everything is going to have a voice. Every being, okay, is sovereign. Okay. So, all right, I'm getting a message about this. Tantric journey. Okay, so this one is a very specific card. For me, when it comes up, it's someone who, What do you want to say about that, Spirit? They're imbalanced. So they're imbalanced in their sexual creation energy, okay? So tantric growth is really about recalibrating your womb space or your root space, whether you're masculine or feminine. And this is really for all people. So whether you're exploring gender or not exploring gender, it doesn't matter. Both masculine and feminine energies, and the combining of those two energies will, the calibrating is what they're calling it, like this calibration between the two inside of you, like having both masculine and feminine inside of you and calibrating that and really focusing on yourself and your own sensual journey before you expose yourself to anybody else's sensuality. So it's really more of a message of celibacy, not in the religious sense, but like choosing to abstain so that you can recalibrate yourself and clear the clutter out of your mind and out of your body of attachment. See, what did we come here to do? Break contracts. So see, there was sexual distortion. In fact, one of the ways the feminine power has been harnessed for so long, and we just talked about this today, is, assault. And the darkness knowing that the feminine portal is so powerful, and it is literally a sacred space that portals in light into our world. So if you knew, it's like a stargate, okay? So look at it like every womb is a stargate, okay? And if you wanted to control the stargate, but you didn't have the power to control it, then what would you do? What would you do? How would you get in? Deception, okay? Trickery. Get involved, engaged with. See, nothing can happen without your permission. Remember that. So even spiritually, a lot of people don't realize that there is distortion and a siphoning of creative power that comes from the womb when we engage with other partners, okay? Or energetically, even in the mind. See, say, I'm trying to ask Spirit for the best example. How do you want me to say it? When even in your fantasies, okay, when you're fantasizing about someone, perhaps a celebrity, or, if you're thinking about something during your actual personal time, then you're inviting that energy into your body and your portal. Okay. And then in the case of a forced assault situation, which is so terrible, okay, it's being forced upon that person, and it creates a distortion that needs to be healed. Okay. So there is a lot to say about that. I could do a whole post and it would still not be enough. There is so much research you can do into root and womb healing from sexual distortion. Okay. Healing wounds from assault and things like that. Therapy, professional therapy for one. Okay. But also spiritually. Okay. Calling your power back to your womb and to your sacred space of known and unknown agreements, okay? Because there has been a lot of deception and layering and trickery here, okay? So it's really, really time to clean house is what I'm getting from that spiritually. The other day in one of my readings, my ancestors said to visualize, and I'm going to say it again for this one, visualize that your great-great-great-grandmother or your great-great-great-grandfather has made you a beautiful broom. So like on my mom's side, they're, my grandmother's Choctaw. So in Choctaw Nation, they made their own brooms. My great-grandfather used to sew and make like all his own stuff. Like he made his own furniture, he made his own brooms, everything, okay? So I'm seeing him sort of hand that to me, and that's what I'm wanting you to see is your great-great-great, maybe someone you don't even know, you never met and never knew in this life, but they've made you this beautiful broom, and you're going to sweep with it, okay? You're going to sweep your energy, you're going to sweep your body, you're going to sweep your home with it. And it's allowing the ancestors to come in and guide and assist you. Do not fear your ancestors. They love you, okay? What did it come up next? Root chakra. That's the ancestors, okay? Root chakra. The frequency of the root chakra, the red flower of life, very much Mary Magdalene, stimulates passion and supports our sense of security on the physical plane, both our bodies as well as in the physical world. So you are safe. So you're safe to do this. Gaia. What we do within our temple, we also do for her. I've said this forever. I'm going to say it again, 444, as I said that. If we heal ourselves, if everyone on the planet would heal themselves, would face the emotional and spiritual wounding and start the healing process, the whole world would heal. Okay? The way we heal the world is heal ourselves. Remember that. Okay? So, the frequency of Gaia reminds us that we are infinitely connected to one another. Happy family. Just as we are to our great mother and to the universe that birthed us all. It's beautiful. 17. Sacred number 17 just popped up on my phone. Remembrance. It's time to remember. Remember who you are, chosen ones. I know that term triggers some people, but don't let it trigger you. We are all chosen, okay? Everyone is chosen. The thing is, they don't remember it, okay? So that's why it's necessary to say it and to help people remember. Okay, hold on. I'm pulling up the next deck. One more. Which one? Emergence. Okay. Emergence. The frequency of emergence invites us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds in that place. And what I'm hearing is the song that my angel sang to me. My angels sing to me a lot. They'll wake me up with song, okay? Very much like Heaven Realms stuff, okay? Sometimes they'll play regular music for me too, just to send a message. But this one, I wrote it down. It's not time to share it yet, but I did write it down. And I'll share it whenever my guides tell me to. But the essence of the song is about channeling one's own light. See, that's the innocence of a child, emerging like a child. A child has not had all of the constructs put upon them. See, a child doesn't have attachments, doesn't have false contracts, false layers. They just come in pure and straight from source. And this is why Christ said, be like a child, right? A child isn't fearful. A child doesn't have false overlays over their personality. They are just pure love, okay? I'm hearing also like a dog, right? Just unconditional love. And then we're gifted these beautiful children through the portal of the women, okay, on this planet. And then what do? We teach them to hate themselves. This is what religion has done. We teach them they're sinful. We teach them they're not enough, that Christ came because they're not enough. No, Christ didn't come because they're not enough. Christ came because they are enough. Christ came to show them that they are. See, that has to change. And you could peel that onion back in any religion. And I don't care if it's Islam. I don't care if it's Christianity. I don't care if it's any of them, okay? They all have these false overlays that disconnect people from source. And we are here to fix that, okay? You are source. You are God's child. And the more you become aware of it, and the more you bring those energies together and become aware that you are the sacred union, you are the divine child, okay? We are. See, that's what the darkness didn't want, because we can't be controlled. We know we're sovereign. We know the rights that we have on this planet. Okay? That's what I'm hearing. She's being very passionate about this. Like, this is why they tried to take away the innocence of children. 2424 right on top, unconditional love. Unconditional love. There's nothing wrong with you. Okay? I hate that religions teach that. And I grew up extremely religious. And I'm very, very much passionate about Holy Scripture, passionate about the Christ. But what I am passionate about most is the truth. What Christ came to teach. And why they left the feminine behind. Because she is so powerful. And we are calling her back. Okay? This leads, by the way, to abundance, okay? Reward. So these are your angel numbers right now. 2424, 888. We just came out of the Lion's Gate. Whatever we just destroyed, okay? Okay? And look at that. See that? See the upright triangle? See, that's masculine. Unconditional love from the Father. See, teaching people they were disconnected from God. That's what I'm getting. See, that is exposing the religious distortion. See, the religious distortion was that Yeah. Okay. So I'm hearing different things. Okay. So most of the patriarchal religions were being led by entities that were not God. Those were entities that were here to disrupt the flow of what is God. Okay. So you see that? That distortion is being exposed. Okay. And that goes back to the contracts and the attachments and all the stuff. See, it's the thinking women, the scholarly women, those who have, they are the scroll keepers. That's what I'm getting from that. You see, she's a literary writer. See, that's sacred. She's a scroll keeper. This is what's going to build the new communities. Okay. Yeah. So we just came out of the Lion's Gate, 888, abundance, but it's going to come, okay, from unconditional love, which means that we have to let go of the teachings in any of our belief systems that don't agree with unconditional love, okay? And there's a reward. See, there's the 88 again. Optimism, 5151. That's super important right now because what did I say? When we destroy something, it leaves empty space. Inside that space, unless you want it to fill back up with darkness, you must fill it up with light. This is why I do believe that Sky Father is important. Alignment, balance. See, this is in no way meant to take away from the masculine aspect of God. That's that father energy, okay? We need the father energy. We need it. We love it. But we were not taught it in a holy way. See, father energy is unconditional love. Okay? And so is Mother Gaia energy, Mother Earth, Mary Magdalene, Goddess energy. All of that they're equally unconditional love, okay? So bringing us into alignment, 222 is like all about balance, right? And to me, that gets into the sacred union. Now, this one comes up for me a lot. Symbiosis, 1221, that number in specific, watch for that number. But things begin to align and work together is the message of it. Bravery. Wow. 17 is a big number. It's been coming up a lot. Bravery, be brave, feminine, be brave. And be brave. All of you who are about to face the lies, okay? Be brave. We're all facing things that we thought were true or important or sacred, and we're finding out, no, we had it wrong. And it wasn't your fault, and it wasn't my fault. I said this in a reading I did a couple of weeks ago. Everyone on this planet, on some level, has been lied to, okay? And that has to be deconstructed. Mindfulness. Mother Mary always tells me this, mind your mind. She's very much like a grandmother to me, grandmother energy. 3311 as I said that. She's talking. So, yeah. So think of like when you're talking to Mother Mary, and many people believe that she was an incarnation also as Isis, that she began as Isis, or even before that, 333 as I said that. So this is, when I say Mother Mary, I am not constricting in any way her to one incarnation or one story. She has many. 3344 as I said that, okay? But in her Mother Mary incarnation, she calls that the 9th ray of light, okay? And she has existed in all lights, okay? But in the 9th ray, that right there is a frequency that we can handle right now, that we can work with easily. She is many things, she says. And she has many rays of light. But the one you are ready for is the 9th, okay? And that doesn't necessarily have to do with the 5D or any of that. We're not even talking about that. When you're being guided, your guides will come in a way that you can handle. And this is a way that she's saying people can handle her energy right now as a grandmother, like a grandmother, okay? Angel 333, support. We are fully supported. And again, the triangle in the upright position, see? Father, support. See, that's God's masculine side, the Sky Father. Jesus, supporting Mary Magdalene, Joseph supporting Mother Mary. That's that Father energy saying, we support you, okay? You're not wrong to rise, and you're not wrong to believe in the feminine, and believing in the feminine does not disregard the masculine. It's just finally giving her the voice she deserves, the sovereignty she deserves, the respect she deserves, the existence that she deserves. She exists whether you like it or not. And he's saying, honor her and all will benefit. And God always calls her the goddess, his bride, in the sense that he celebrates her. He rejoices in her. Like he understands that she is sacred and special and powerful and not to be mocked. Okay, so there's something coming through about that. That's probably why she's calling me to do another message today if I get time to speak up for the trees and the animals. And keep in mind, I'll just say this briefly about what she's telling me. Everything you're feeling right now when we go through these major energetic shifts, let me turn this down, I'm sorry guys. Everything that you're feeling, your nature is feeling too, okay? So please be kind with nature. Be considerate, be compassionate. Go talk to your trees. Talk to the little animals that live in your yard. If you have pets, please be patient with your pets. They may be cranky, just like we're cranky. They may, my puppy was really, really nippy for 2 days, just nipping at us, our new little puppy. We should not be assuming that they aren't also feeling this too. We are doing this together, okay? This is a collective movement into enlightenment. So please be patient with nature, love nature. Look at how long nature has loved and supported and served you. Can we not render back the love and support that they deserve? Okay? Yes, we can. Here comes our animal kingdom. Perfect time to pull an animal card. Skunk spirit. I have a friend on TikTok. She always sees this skunk in her yard and he looks like a spirit. He looks like a ghost skunk. And so I looked it up because I wanted to find out for her. Now this says know your worth. Okay. This is about sovereignty. The number is 54, by the way. So if you see 54 come up, it could be relevant for you. The skunk spirit, by the way, is believe it or not, the message in this, and I've already read this because I looked it up for her, is protection. You have the ability to protect yourself, set boundaries. See, the skunk in the nature world, basically no animal messes with it because they're like, oh my gosh, no, it's gonna like spray me, okay? But the point is, it has made it very clear, don't mess with me, right? So learn from the skunk. Put your boundaries up. Know your worth. You're worth more. Okay. Sovereign. Ooh. Panther spirit. Whoa. Reclaim your power. That's a really big one. Okay. So I have talked about this before on my channel, but I have had several lifetimes in the Maya. And so the panther and the jaguar and the cats, the large cats, have always been a symbol for me throughout my life. And this symbol is about being able to walk through darkness. See, that's a superpower. Being able to face your shadows. Even if you just do it one at a time. You don't have to do everything all at once. They're saying ask for assistance if you need it, okay? And I'm very much a panther spirit, so I'm here. I'm here if you need it. Okay, but there are others. There are others here on the planet that have come through great darkness and can help you. Okay, but it's time to reclaim your power. Vulture spirit. This came up the other day. Nothing is wasted. Again, the struggles you've been through are valuable jewels, valuable lessons you've learned. That giving up your power. See what our ancestors did. They gave up their power with these attachments and these false contracts. They thought it was going to be good. No. And remember, we are the ancestors. We're back. So it was us. We did it. Just remember that. And we're here to fix it. but it is not wasted. We've learned not to make agreements that do not serve the highest good. Remember that. Oh, there's one more. Hold on. In the upside down position, seahorse, watch and wait. Watch and wait. Number 53. Upside down, for me, again, I've said this so many times, for me it means creation. Okay? And by the way, you know, the seahorse, it's the male that carries the children. And while the wife does the work, so to speak, goes and hunts. And that's very much a hunter energy. Hunter energy is so important. That's about facing your fears. Okay? Hunter energy is about not being chased. It's about standing your ground, turning around, and going after your fears. Those are your shadows. Those are the things that are being called to be faced right now. You know, I'm sorry, I'm looking for the card that they just brought up. See, that's what the Panther spirit is about. Ask the Panther to help you. Ask that divine seer, okay, to help you, to face those fears, to clear the path. And then as you do that, as you do your self-healing work, watch and wait. It's going to be amazing, okay? It's going to be really amazing. I've got 2 more, you guys, so thank you for your patience. If you've made it all the way through this, then, you know, you get a prize. That means you gave yourself a chance to access all this wisdom from our ancestors, from Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, the angelic teams, the archangels. What are you saying, Spirit? They're saying the Arcturians are helping right now, and they need to be mentioned. Someone needs to hear that. The Arcturians are with you. It's a girl. Or feminine energy. What is it, guys? Okay. Oh my gosh. This came up twice. All right. Hermes from the masculine deck. How in the world does Spirit do this? Hermes. Okay. We're listening. I'm also seeing Dionysus message. Have that difficult conversation rather than avoiding conflict. Wow, if that's not perfect. Face it head on with open and transparent deliberation for richer connection. Okay, this is amazing. Wow. Sorry. Okay, the message. Avoiding the temporary discomfort of a difficult conversation worth giving. Is it worth it? Okay. Of giving up the opportunity to speak your mind. Consider the nights you may spend going over and over the points related to the issue because they were never released. It is best to speak up at this time and get the weight off your chest. Develop your inner messenger archetype. Wow, you guys. Okay, I'm back. Had to help my baby. But basically the message of this is conflict is a component of healthy relationships. It's okay to disagree, okay? Instead of letting unresolved issues fester and manifest toxicity later, communicate openly and appropriately now, okay? The longer annoyances and grievances and ill feelings are kept muffled, the more likely they will break down your relationships over time, looming in the background, replaying in your mind, and becoming expressed through passive-aggressive behaviors, which will eventually wear down even the strongest bond. Confront things head on in a calm yet clear manner. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, again, this is an individual and a collective message. In your relationships, that is extremely good advice, because some relationships are worth saving, right? And in those instances, it's going to take open communication to keep that connection, so that both people can be happy. This could be friendship, this could be romantic, this could be you and your children, or you and your parents, okay? Any kind of relationship. But collectively, see, if we're going to restructure, so we're getting rid of old contracts, see that right there? What does that look like? I said it, you guys. These are old legal agreements. And we're letting go of these attachments. And the thinking woman is helping to restructure community, okay? So if we're going to restructure community, what is that going to take? Open communication, communication, okay? Talk about the synchronicity there. So if we're going to restructure communities and how we operate and how we respect each other and how we love each other and how we live in symbiosis, okay? How do we mirror each other, okay? When you give respect, you get respect. So what is being deconstructed right now is the parts of the systems that were distorted, that did not respect the sacredness of humanity, the sacredness of Mother Gaia, the sacredness of the animal kingdom, the sacredness of nature, okay? Water, just the way we treat water has to change, okay? Like, so all of these things are being exposed right now. 45, as I said that. Okay, there's one more. Sorry, guys. Let me grab it. I had to move out of the way. Okay. So, this one is my little dragon deck, which I love. It's just so magical. Which dragon is helping us right now with this destructive, creative process? The Confidant. Look at that, beautiful. Look how beautiful, guys. Can y'all see that? The Confidant. I'm going to read it to you. There are times to hold your deepest truth within your molten core. And there are times like these when you need to express yourself in a safe and protected environment. Seek your trusted allies. Share and let yourself be witnessed and received. Whether that is with chosen family, friends, or a beloved mentor, or your invisible allies, spirit. Okay? Some of your greatest protectors are in the realm of the unseen. What did I just say? Confide your truth and express your heart to experience the belonging you are so worthy of. Wow, that's beautiful, you guys. So, if you took that message as when I said, what dragon is helping us, okay? And applied that to your spirit team. See, the dragons are the archetypes. And they really kind of show themselves to me like, what do you guys want to say about that? How can I explain? Okay, so they're showing like, you know those stents that they put in a heart? I mean, a valve, not a valve, like a, what do they call it? They're called a stent. Like when someone has a stent put in, I guess the main vein that runs to or from the heart. I'm seeing like a stent. What is that stuff? Mesh. That's the word I'm trying to come up with. That mesh. And it's like a round tubular mesh. Okay. The way the dragons show themselves to me is, imagine that mesh of what a stent looks like. Okay. And it's like a net that's round and tubular. Okay. And imagine that kind of rising up like a spiral. And it's this mesh spiral of light. And each place on the spiral carries its own vibration and its own energy. And they're doing an activation right now. I feel it coming through my hands. Okay. And in that grid, you need guidance. Okay. Their bones, their very existence is wisdom. And they are like little, what do you guys want to call it? They're like the bones. That's what they're calling themselves. Of the grid, of the light, of everything that exists. The wisdom behind it, the unseen wisdom. So see, in this card, you're being asked to speak your truth and communicate. See, the communication card came up. Where is it? You guys want to lay them all out. They're kind of all over the place. But the communication to build community that we're being urged. Oh, I know what it is. Sorry, it's this one. Guys, where did I put him? Oh, here he is. Hermes. The masculine card. Look at it. Look at the snake rising. Do you see it? On his arm? See? That's the feminine rising. That's the communication. this card is asking you to please talk to your spirit team. And you can also share, like it said, with trusted humans or your pets or the trees or your spirit team, your dragon guides, your angelic team, the Arcturians, for a few who are listening that needed to hear that. See, they want you to talk to them. They want you to tell them how you're feeling and what you need and to communicate, because these beings are like, we're like diplomats, okay? Yeah, so they're explaining. We're the diplomats. We are the pillars, the new pillars of this new construct that is forming, that is going to hold space for ascended, enlightened thinking, okay? Enlightened being. So that construct has to consult with wisdom, and that's going to be your spirit team, right? Which exists within you, which can only come out if you communicate. So even though it is wise to not like let all your cards show all the time, they're not saying to do that. They're just saying find a trusted someone that you can communicate with. And that someone can be them if you need it, and really should be, because they're going to help you make the connections you need on that sacred spiral, okay? They're going to bring in, 111, as I said that, they're going to bring in what you need. So see, just see that grid just rising, 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 okay? Okay, the Waymaker, of course. See, that's what you are. You're a Waymaker. And the dragons are the perfect... What do you guys want to say about that? They're saying they're the perfect elemental energy to support this kind of mission. They're extremely powerful, extremely. And every element that exists is connected to dragons. Water, fire, earth, wind. So imagine them being the bones of all that exists. I'm being reminded of a vision I had years ago in my backyard. I saw a man, I don't know if he was the Christ, like in like a version of Jesus, or more so just Sky Father, okay? But he was dressed in ancient clothing, and he was sitting on my fence. He was tall, very tall. I wouldn't say like, well, I guess he could have been like a giant, but he didn't seem like that big, but way taller than a human, okay? So tall that he could sit on my fence, like sit on it. And my mother and a child were off to the side. And I didn't know yet what they were going to teach me about sacred union or any of that. So we'll just call him like Sky Father, okay? But he told me something really important. And this is coming up as I'm talking about the dragons, okay? Because I pray in my garden, and it's my special place, and I love it so much. And my garden has been responsible for so much of my healing through grief and restructuring my mind and my body after, so many levels of abuse and things that I went through in my younger years, okay? And in the first marriage. So my garden is where God brought me to heal me, okay? With Mother. He brought me to her, okay? But in this vision, he's sitting on the back of the fence, and he was talking about how I pray in the garden. And I remember being shocked that he was even like admiring me, because from my perspective, I'm just a human, and I'm like, why is he even saying this to me? But he said to me, he put his hands out and he showed the ground, okay? And interwoven in the dirt was a spinal cord, okay? A spinal cord. What did the dragons say? We are the bones of all that is, okay? And he said, I prayed over my garden too. And it just touched my heart so much that he acknowledged my prayer in the garden, right? And I was like, really? And I felt like a child with him. So it was very much my father energy, okay? And I held his hand, and it just being with him was just pure joy, okay? And elation, euphoric. And he was like, yes. And it was like just his way of, he says he admires my love for her, the garden. And so if you put that into like a literal sense, see those bones, the bones, he showed earth as bones, like structural support for the grid of all that is. Okay? This is why I know that the planet is not what we're being told. She is so much more. Not just the goddess energy. I don't mean just that. I mean, what we've been taught about planets is just not true. And the way God shows the cosmos to me and the planets and the realms is so different than how science would interpret it. This is why we also have to move past just believing everything that you think a scientist knows. Okay? Remember that science is only discovering what God already knows. Okay? So if you could translate that scientifically, okay? Like your future self knows the science already. And is so advanced that from a human's perspective would be interpreted as a God. Because the soul is eternal, remember. So the soul comes in with so much wisdom. Because it has so much experience. 555, as I said that. So see, there is a lot of deconstructed stuff going on right now. We are deconstructing what people, even their concept of God is limited. See, they just see God as this being that's like coming in and like, you know, interfering with earth matters and doing this or doing that. Hold on. Creator is everything. Way more expansive than the religious interpretation of God. So when you get into the real, like just bones of the Creator, you're talking about, what do you want to say? Indescribable power, indescribable energy, indescribable wisdom. No limitations. Okay? So we are deconstructing that right now, and it's beginning. And they're saying it began a long time ago, but now we're ready to see it fall. Okay? It has to. The shadow. If you carry a big light, you are going to cast a large shadow. If that's not, boom, right there, okay? And you must own both. Endeavor in this moment to understand what shadow elements are at work. Be diligent not to project onto others your own fears, inadequacies, or resentments. This is your opportunity not to abandon any part of yourself, including your own darkness. Own all of it. Take responsibility for your shadows and the limitations you've put upon yourself. Accountability is part of true power, as any dragon knows. So, yeah, there's so much there. Okay, so that gets into kind of like they're talking about the ego, but basically our ego sometimes creates limiting beliefs because of its fears. Okay. This actually did come up today in the session today. I was guided to say to my client that, see, limitlessness, eternal, having no end, no beginning, Alpha, Omega. See, that kind of energy is scary for a lot of people. See, they create boundaries because they want to feel safe. And while that's understandable, those boundaries are limiting your understanding of God. And furthermore, those boundaries are putting limits on God's love. And that's impossible. So this is what we're being called to deconstruct right now. Our own inner fears of basically having been lied to most of our life about almost everything. And that can make a person feel very uprooted, very ungrounded, very uncertain. However, it is necessary if we want to get to the truth. So, have faith that you are loved, you're guarded, you are guided, that God prayed over his garden too, and Mother Earth and the goddess is praying over her creation too. Just like a mother and father that have children together. They both nurture and care for the children. And they do it in different ways, but they both love and they both honor and they both respect. okay? In a perfect, happy family, which looks different for everybody, by the way, who this is not meant to put family in a box. Family can look like whatever your family looks like. But in that scenario of a happy family is just a flow of love and respect for all who are part of it, okay? And so we're really moving into the unknown for humanity. But the beautiful thing about that is, see, God is the Alpha, the Omega, right? God is eternal. God is everything. God never ends. God is the sacred spiral of life, the bones, okay? So when you get into that, see, there's never an end. That means that everything we're living right now, we have done before. See, the future is the past. The past is the future. This gets into quantum physics a little bit, but it's what we're dealing with. But the beautiful thing about that is we actually have experience with where we are. We may not remember it in this body, but in some timeline, we have done this before. And this is why the dragons are asking you to ask them, because they have access to the Akasha. See, when you start getting into Akashic, records, the records of humanity, it's because you've accessed the dragon energy, the bones, the grid, the ancient. See, that's access to the ancient. So many angel signs right now. 11111. It's just so much. Okay, so they will help you. They love you. Okay, yes, they are fierce. Yes, they are powerful. But isn't that what we need right now? Isn't that what we need? Okay, so this is such a beautiful message from Spirit about coming off the high of that portal energy, okay? And what it does when it boosts us up the spiral of life. See, when we come through a portal, we're going up the spiral, okay? As we come up the spiral and we leave behind this stuff down here, it can feel a little empty. You might feel a little empty or weepy or sappy, like I said, it's emotional, because we've left behind something that was familiar. But that something down here no longer serves us. So as you do that, and you come up the spiral, you ask your spirit guides to fill you back up with light. And you do that with optimism. And that is not avoidance, and that is not bypassing. You've come through something heavy and hard, and you've been through hell, okay? And it's okay to start to feel good and really be mindful, okay? That's why the mindfulness card came up. Like, where is it? Oh, guys, they're kind of all over the place right now. But that's why, oh, here it is. Mother Mary kicking in for me. Sacred number 2713, mindfulness. See, the eyes. So really pay attention to your thoughts. And also, I need you to really use your spirit eyes, okay? Don't trust everything you see. Trust what you feel, okay? Get back in touch with your body. If you have gone through, because remember, tantric healing came up. If you have gone through sexual trauma, really get the support you need to heal it. There are so many great therapists for this. Womb healers, a lot of great womb healers out there. If you need some references, I know several that are really great, have great programs. Get that healed to the best of your ability, okay? Because the very fact that you went through something like that tells me that you're extremely powerful. And 333, as I said that. So I hate to put it in this category, but this is the only way to say it. Most of the most powerful, creative womb keepers on the planet right now have gone through some type of sexual trauma. Okay? And that was intentional to attempt to siphon your power. Now you call it back. Ask your dragons to help you, okay? Ask them to help you. They are fierce protectors. 404, as I said that, okay? You can do this. You can. Okay? So let's show up for ourselves. Let's show up for each other. And let's be fierce in the most divine sense of the word, okay? We are sacred destroyers. Okay? And it's because we are authentic light grid keepers that we do this. Okay? I feel like that's it. I hope this helps. I love you guys so much. I'll try to make another one about the animals. 4-4, as I said that.